Thank you so much for attending my presentation about why Greedent is a catastrophe, and first we've got the change sets. Welcome to my unnamed game show where a Pokemon's viability is made, and today's contestant is the wonderful Game Freak. Now today you're going to be deciding the fate of an innocent Pokemon, Greedent. Here's who you have to work with. Greedent is a pretty decent normal type, having 95 attack and some legitimately solid bulk all around. You've created a lot of mons like that, but this one has a few very interesting things that give it some promise. Belly Drum is a very powerful move, cutting your HP in half but maxing out attack. Normally that first part is a big problem, but with its ability this can be changed. Greedent has Cheek Pouch, which gives a ton of health. After a berry is eaten, it gets another third of its max HP back, which can amount to over 50% total. When paired with the Citrus Berry, it can recover everything after drumming and essentially guarantee setup as long as it lives a hit. All of this looks legitimately great, but there's one thing missing: speed. To say that this will make or break it is an understatement. It doesn't have any other strong tools, it doesn't have supportive options, and it doesn't have priority. This is it. To determine what happens next, we're going to resort to an old game show tactic, the 3 doors. Behind each there's a number which will determine Greedent's speed. So Game Freak, which will you pick? Door number 3? Alright, let's see what you got. Oh no, that's the worst one. This gimmick is so fucking stupid. 20 speed is definitely not what you want to see for a variety of reasons. Usable belly drum sweepers are almost always fast, aiming to overwhelm. We can see this when we look at Linoon, who's able to overcome its poor stats with stab extreme speed. This one move lets it play a strong late game cleaner role, dishing out damage that you can't reasonably stop without a bulky resist. Poliwrath isn't strong, but when put in rain, it can function with a swift swim double speed. All that to say, having 20 speed is horrific. That's basically as slow as it gets, underspeeding Amoonguss and Gigalith. On a defensive Pokemon, this can work fine. However, on a sweeper, being slow is a massive problem. Without any way to go first consistently, it doesn't ever tear through teams. The most you're reasonably getting is 2 solid attacks, but even that's probably optimistic. To call it a death sentence is an understatement. Good job. So, after this unfortunate choice, how has Greedent performed? The answer is pretty clear. Bad. I mean, it's just not very good. This one gimmick really is all it has, I wasn't kidding. The Squirrel's move pool is basically just mediocre attacking moves that it doesn't run in bad status like Defense Curl and Amnesia. While it doesn't even function that well on the whole, Greedent still has to try and make Belly Drum work. This thing loses to a kinda wild amount of moves. Knockoff gets rid of the berry before it can proc, strong moves just deal too much damage, and status sucks for obvious reasons. Plus, since it's slow as fuck, it doesn't have any real counterplay. Its one real niche is on Trick Room teams, in theory taking advantage of its sluggishness, but since you need a turn to switch it in and a turn to set up, you're left with very little time to dish out damage. Oh yeah, and you're left wide open while all of this is happening. It seems decent in VGC, throwing out Earthquakes, but there's almost always better options. Torkoal especially looks nice, having comparable power without the setup time. Overall, it's bad everywhere, languishing in ZU with basically no usage. In conclusion, just one single stat made the difference between a decent Pokemon and a horrible one. I have no delusions here, even with solid speed it wouldn't be insane but could reasonably see success. Personally, I'm a little sad it didn't get some more help. Thank you so much for watching.